to the Pay Me No Mind show. This is your host, Wood. I'm in the building at the KFC YUM Center with Hall of Famer Steve Farhood for Showtime Boxing and other outlets. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here. I've never been to Louisville before, so this is great.
Really? So you want to real quickly, what brings you here tonight? I know the tournament is going on, but you guys just laid it out so excellently.
Well, it's really exciting because I think most boxing fans love tournaments. And this is a really interesting tournament because it's very competitive. It's in the welterweight division, which we know is the best and deepest division in boxing. You have some fighters we're familiar with. You know, we all saw Felix Diaz against Crawford. We all saw Chris Van Heerden against Spence. Then you got some fighters like this guy Bai Shambo from China. We don't know anything about him. He got here a day ago. So you have a real mix. You can't really be sure who's going to win. And the best thing about tournaments is that the fighters don't determine the matches. The brackets determine the matches. Win and move on. So we look forward to it.
We need a tournament for the heavyweights to get the fight that we want, right?
Let's have a tournament with two guys in it.
We just cut to the.
That's it. Cut to the finals.
Cut to the championship round.
Exactly.
I just wanted to get. Last year was a remarkable year for boxing. No complaints whatsoever. As it was closing out, my main concern was how could 2018, follow that up, and could it possibly duplicate the same excitement that we saw in the game? We're not quite halfway through. But what's your thoughts on, these first 4 or 5 months?
Well, at the risk of patting ourselves on the back, Showtime has done quite a good job of matchmaking, especially the first half of the year. Really good matches, still some to come. Mara Santa Cruz, for instance, and Badu Jack and Stevenson. These are really excellent matches. But you know what? I think 2018 is going to be remembered as either the year that the heavyweights, Wilder and Joshua, got together, or didn't get together. And if they get together, it has the potential to be a really significant fight and a significant year in boxing. If not, it can still be a good year. Excellent matchups. Lomachenko is an excellent matchup with Linares, etc. Maybe we see Golovkin Canelo 2 this year, maybe not, I don't know. But there are plenty of matchups. But that heavyweight fight would make this year special.
So what's been your favorite development of this year? You had the great super welterweight card a couple of weeks ago in Vegas. Last week you scored, I believe, you gave the fight, I think, about 2 rounds.
I scored it even.
Oh, you scored it even?
114, Broner fight, yeah.
Okay, but
yeah.
What stood out the most to you this year?
Well, I have to say the Lara Hurd fight. I mean, that's a candidate for Fight of the Year.
Automatic.
Great fight, great ending. For Lara to take the punches he did and then get knocked down, and that was the difference on the cards. It's a draw if Lara doesn't get knocked down in the 12th round. So Hurd is just he's so exciting, and he's so pleasing to watch because he just keeps on coming.
Yes.
And now you want to see him with Hurd-Charlo.
Yes. That's
the natural matchup. So one good thing about boxing, when you have a hot division, junior middleweight's hot right now, featherweight's hot, welterweight's hot. Good matchups make more good matchups.
Yes.
And let's hope that keeps coming.
Would you like to see the rematch? I think that's being kicked around now with Lara and Hurd. Or would you prefer to see, and I don't want to take anything away from Lara and his service to the game, but we need to see Charlo and Hurd, 2 younger fighters, probably going to be very explosive. I don't know if Lara chose to fight that way tonight, or maybe he lost.
Yeah, maybe his legs are going.
But do you want to see the Hurd?
Look, the fight was so good that I can't say no to a rematch, but I'd rather see him fight. I'd rather see Hurd fight Jermell.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, give me Charlo, give me the other Charlo. I like the Charlos. They're exciting to watch. They've been fantastic. They're scoring knockouts like crazy.
Yes.
Look what Jermell did to poor Hugo Centeno. What was it? 2 rounds, 3 rounds, whatever it was.
2 rounds.
I mean, these are 2 kids that they just keep getting better.
Yes.
And we always build Jermell as the puncher.
Yes.
Jermell has scored a bunch of knockouts in a row. Look what he did to Erickson Lubin. So if Jermell Charlo fights Hurd, 2 good young fighters. We have so many good young fighters in boxing. Gervonta Davis is obviously one of those guys. So many others. I'd be very happy to see Jermell Charlo and Hurd.
Any disappointment in Tank, Gervonta Davis, as you just mentioned, kind of throwing it out there that if him and Lomachenko get together, that's a pay-per-view fight?
Well, it's a problem to make the fight because of politics, obviously. Lomachenko fights on one side of the street, Gervonta fights on the other side of the street.
Yes.
Would I like to see the fight? Yeah, but if I don't see it right away, that's okay too. Gervonta Davis is a baby.
Yes.
He had a hiccup when he didn't make weight and lost his title. He got the title back. I wouldn't mind if that fight marinates for a while, and we see it down the road. Lomachenko is fighting in lightweight now against Linares. Who knows if he ever comes back down to 130? Exactly. So maybe that fight won't be available. I don't know, but it would be a great fight because Gervonta's a special talent.
Yes, yes. I think offensively, I'd like to see it, but I thought he got hit a little bit with the left hand last week. I think they mentioned it on the telecast. Cuellar was getting in, and maybe he was just so focused on his offense because he could be that was happening. But obviously, the work that Loma does with his left hand is going to be, something far greater than that.
Yeah, Loma's special. I mean, nobody fights quite like him. His footwork is amazing. His speed is amazing. His angles are amazing, and he hasn't shown any signs of slowing down. So, if anybody didn't want to fight him, I could get it.
Right. Mr. Farhood, you've been watching this game for a long time. You've seen a lot of different personalities, in the ring personalities. You've seen a multitude of ways to sell fights. When you sit and watch, and you're not in Broner's key demographic or his following, so I'm very interested to know, when I try to sell boxing to, at my job, the people that I work with, they want nothing to do with it. When you sit and see Broner conduct himself like he did in the post-fight interview last week, does that do more damage to the game? Is it beginning to do more damage to the game?
There are people that find that colorful and exciting. I don't, okay? Now, I'm 61 years old, so maybe I'm just an old fart, okay? But no, I don't think it helps the game. I don't think it cultivates new fans. And Adrien Broner draws big audiences.
Yes.
The numbers tell you that. They were phenomenal. Only Deontay Wilder gets bigger audiences. So you kind of, there's a struggle there. But no, he can fight. He can be colorful. He doesn't have to put down the various groups and demographics he's put down. He doesn't have to do that. And I'd let there's a human being behind the fighter, and I'd like to see the human being get a little better.
Yes.
I'm not that worried about the fighter, but his behavior could be better. Yes.
Speaking of the fighter, where does he go? I mean, I see online so many times is would he let his hands go? Will he let his hands go? If he let his hands go, I feel like he really just is what he is, and we have to quit expecting more. I mean, he's been in this game a long time, and he's either struggling with or barely getting by kind of B-level guys, maybe.
Yeah.
So, is he just a guy that? Where does he go?
He's a showman, and he's a personality in a sport that doesn't have that many. If you went to 20 people, that casual sports fans, not big boxing fans, and you said, name me some fighters, well, they're going to name. Yeah, they probably won't name Anthony Joshua. They don't in America.
Probably
they don't
not.
know him. But they know Wilder. They know Floyd. They probably won't even know Floyd's retired. They know Pacquiao, obviously.
Yes.
Broner's high on that list.
That's true.
And he hasn't beaten the A-level opposition, but because he gets the high ratings, and because, let's not forget, that this past fight with Vargas was very exciting.
Yes.
He'll be back, and he's going to fight somebody, whoever that is, in a fight that won't be, maybe he won't be favored to win, maybe it won't be an A-level opponent, but it'll be on TV because he draws fans.
You think we might see him, or it's likely that we see him at 140 versus 147?
I'd like to see him at 135, but that's easy for me to say. I'm not the one that has to lose the weight.
Right.
I think that he's shown that at 47, that's not a good weight for him. Although at 44, when he fought Vargas, in the second half of the fight, there was no doubt who the harder puncher was. It was Broner.
I do think that I liked his energy. Everything was great until he got to the post-fight interview.
And we've seen that before.
Yes. I know you got things to do tonight, so my last question was next month or end of June, I'll probably see you up at the Masonic Temple in Detroit for the Claressa Shields doubleheader with Hammer. I think that won't be televised though. Or
Hammer, we're going to show extended highlights.
What's your thoughts on how the women's game is coming along, and more specifically, what's going on with the growth of Claressa Shields?
Well, Claressa has so much star appeal. Her only problem is that she fights at a weight class, 160 or 168, where there aren't that many quality opponents for her to face. She's dominated everybody she's fought. Christina Hammer, however, is a very good boxer. The American audience will be introduced to her in June in Detroit. And by the way, even though it's a rival network, HBO is doing their first women's fight ever, Cecilia Brækhus, against Callie Reese. They've never done a women's fight before, so I think that says volumes about where the women's game is. I love it. I love women's boxing, and I think Claressa has the appeal, the potential and the appeal to be the biggest star there's ever been.
I haven't had a chance to put any eyeballs on Gabriels yet, but she's 6 or 7 years younger than Tori Nelson. She seems motivated for the fight and this opportunity. Do you know anything about it, or anything enough about her to let us know whether or not Shields could possibly get pushed that night? Or could Gabriels disrupt the big fight that they're trying to make?
Gabriels is a champion, a legitimate champion, a big star in Costa Rica. She's a really good fighter. The only downside is she's smaller than Claressa. Claressa's coming down from 68 to fight at 60, and Gabriels is coming up from 54 to fight at 60. So that's why you got to make Shields the favorite. But I will tell you this. Gabriels is the best fighter Claressa's ever fought.
That's what I was thinking. Hey, sir, thanks a lot for your time.
You're very welcome.
The show tonight, and we do have one Buckeye on here, which is her name is skipping my mind. Alicia Baumgartner.
Alicia Baumgartner. Yeah.
Yes.
Can't wait to see her fight.
Okay.
She's exciting.
All right. Thanks a lot for your time. Enjoy yourself.
My pleasure.
Tonight.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
You got it. All right.
Thanks, sir.